Hello everyone. How do we actually learn from our mistakes? This is explained by Thorndike's trial and error learning theory. Let's understand it simply. Question might ask like, what do you mean by learning? How does learning take place? Discuss Thorndike's theory of learning? Or define learning? Explain Thorndike's law of learning? Or throw light on educational implications of Thorndike's theory of learning? Or what is the meaning and importance of learning? Discuss the theory of trial and error and insightful learning in brief. Meaning of learning. Learning is the modification of behavior as a result of experience. The child brings change in his behavior after gaining experiences from the environment. Learning is predicted on the basis of changes in the behavior. These changes can be negative or positive. Human being goes on learning from birth till death. Learning affects child's development too much. A child learns new habits only through the process of learning and imitates traditions, customs and stereotypes. Intellectual skill also develops through learning. Also, the decision of right and wrong, the concepts of justice and aesthetic sense etc. develop through learning. This process of learning continues throughout life. Human development takes place through learning. Learning can be termed as a mental process. Thorndike's trial and error theory. The theory of trial and error was propounded by Edward Lee Thorndike. Edward Lee Thorndike was an American psychologist. He was born on the 31st of August 1874 and died on the 9th of August 1949. This theory is also known as stimulus-response theory. According to trial and error theory, if an organism is kept in a new situation, it shows different kinds of responses unwittingly. Its responses are faulty. When that being is repeatedly kept in that situation, its errors in responses keep decreasing. In the first trial the errors are numerous, but as the number of attempts increase the errors decrease. After putting the being through a number of trials repeatedly, a situation is reached when there is no error in the being's response. It shows those responses that are suitable in a specific situation. On reckoning the average of errors during several trials, we find that the average of errors gradually decreases. Thorndike's experiment. In this experiment, Thorndike prepared a puzzle box with iron bars. The door of the puzzle box could be opened by pressing a lever. He put a hungry cat in the puzzle box and closed the door. A fish was placed outside the box. The cat could eat the fish only if it could get out of the puzzle box. The fish was a stimulus for the cat. The stimulus began to work up the hunger of the cat. The cat reacted in a variety of ways to come out of the box. But it did not know how to. At first, the cat made a great deal of varied attempts to reach the food in a trial and error fashion, such as jumping up and down, scratched and pushed the door, tried to rip the lever with its teeth, scratched the floor of the puzzle box. But every time cat fails. But hungry cat not stop here because it was very hungry. Ultimately, by chance her paw fell on the loop of the rope and the door opened. The cat jumped out immediately and ate the fish. When next day, the cat was put in the box again. This time it took less time in coming out, and in the subsequent trials the time decreased further so much, so that the stage reached when the cat came out soon after being put inside by directly striking the latch with her paw without any random movement. This is how she learned to reach its goal. Essential elements of trial and error theory: definite goals. Learning need definite goals and motivation also. Obstacle. One faces obstacles in the achievement of one's goals. The person tries to overcome the obstacle in order to achieve his goals. Various responses. These responses may be useless, meaningless and unsuccessful. Chance success. The various responses provoked in a person to achieve the goal are appropriate success which comes by chance. Elimination of unsuccessful response. When success comes by chance, the number of unsuccessful responses is gradually reduced. Establishment of right responses. The response that has succeeded in making one achieve the goal is repeated again and again. Educational implications of trial and error theory: setting goals. The teacher should set goals for the students. Motivating the students. Teacher can motivate the student through reward and punishment and through setting up goals as a motivation for the students to achieve them. Learning is a gradual process. According to this theory, learning is a gradual and systematic process. From easy to difficult, this theory lays emphasis on proceeding from simple to the complex. While teaching, the teacher should keep this principle in mind. He should take up simple topics to begin with and proceed on to take up the difficult ones. Emphasize on exercise. The difficult concepts become easily intelligible through practice. The student becomes proficient in the subjects like maths. Law of learning. Thorndike has propounded some principles of learning on the basis of results drawn from experiments. The laws propounded by Thorndike can be divided into two parts. A. Primary laws of learning. Law of readiness. Readiness implies physical and mental preparedness to undertake a task. Readiness is the basis of learning. Law of exercise. A person learns by practice and repetition. Practice makes a man perfect. Law of use. If connection between situation and response is strong. Law of disuse. If connection between situation and response is strong. Law of effect. This law is also known as the law of satisfaction and dissatisfaction. Success and failure impact the process of learning. B. Secondary laws of learning. Law of multiple response. This law implies that if a new problematic situation presents itself before an individual, it responds to it in a variety of ways, the response having been based on previous experiences, to solve the problem. Law of mental set or law of attitude. The law of mental set is also known as the law of attitude. How an organism will respond to a specific stimulus depends on the learner's attitude or mental set. One learner may be very keen to learn a task and another individual may have no interest in learning the task. Law of partial activity. An individual responds in a variety of ways in order to solve a problem, depending on the theory of trial and error. In the process, he selects the necessary responses and leaves out the unnecessary ones. Law of assimilation. The law of assimilation is also known as the law of analogy. A new situation provokes similar responses in an individual that he had made earlier in similar situations and had met with success. Law of associative shifting. According to this law, a response evoked by a stimulus can be associated with any other possible stimulus. Thorndike in this context has said, we can get any response from the learner of which he is capable, associated with any situation to which he is sensitive. Law of regency. According to this law, new things are learnt rapidly, such as revision of the books before examination. Law of primary efforts. It is well said that the first impression is the last expression. Hence, in the beginning stage, the acquired impression is permanent. Therefore, children and the teacher should be serious from the very beginning. Law of belongingness. The law tells us that if the answer is relevant to the situation, then this relation can be memorized very rapidly. Law of intensity of stimulus. According to this law, if the stimulus is intense, his response would also be intense. If the stimulus is weak, then its responses would also be weak. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share for more videos.